Tommy Daniels here on the Red, White, and You podcast, brought to you by Bang Solder, a brand new partner of Allen Americans Hockey this year, and of course the group who is currently redesigning the Allen Americans locker room. It's going to look fabulous. And speaking of looking fabulous, my longtime friend, I've known her since day one of the Allen Americans, which is now my 12th year, hard to believe. She is the director of the Allen Convention and Visitors Bureau, and that's Karen Cromwell. Good morning.
Good morning, Tommy. It is so good to see you. I wish we could be in live and be in person, but we are doing our part to stay safe.
Absolutely. And, I look forward to once we get back to, somewhat of a normal life and people feel comfortable, going out to crowded restaurants again. Definitely owe you lunch, and excited to have you on here today. But let's talk, first of all, I guess I'll start with your family. How are you? How's your family? How has the pandemic affected the Cromwell family?
Well, Tommy, thanks for asking. Overall, health-wise, we're great. The COVID slowdown and shutdown has affected the family. I have been very blessed to have had the privilege to stay on full time and quite frankly, overtime with a lot of our efforts that we have undertaken during COVID. My husband was furloughed, so that has been a challenge for a road warrior to not be traveling.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot of great opportunities and he's very good at what he does and have no concerns about, as this recovery starts happening and people start traveling, they'll need those salespeople back. So obviously we'll hope to see that change. And then we have 3 adult children. And our oldest daughter lives in Denton, is married, and we have a 2-year-old granddaughter. So COVID careful is real important to us because obviously we'll still want to be in part of our life, of our granddaughter's life. So we've been very blessed. It's affected them too because daughter's a wedding photographer, very good at what she does. And in COVID, as everybody knows, the weddings were being canceled. So her business is recovering now, though. She's so busy now that we get called on a lot to babysit, which is great. And the other 2 boys both have thankfully had jobs where they could continue working. And my son that does retail actually works in retail. The hours he's putting in now is just crazy because the staff is much smaller and they're affected just like anybody else. If there's a COVID scare on the team, there's this whole shifting and trying to make sure that everybody's covered, and there's quarantining going on. So again, all of us are just trying to do our part to stay safe. But thankfully, everybody financially is surviving. I can't say we're thriving, but we are surviving.
Well, glad, and you are a trooper, so that does not surprise me whatsoever. I want to talk to you about Shop Allen, Texas, and 'tis the season with Thanksgiving upon us, and everybody talks about Black Friday and how different it's going to be this year. But talk about Shop Allen, Texas, a great program you guys launched, and obviously just trying to make people aware. Hey, shop here at home. We've got a lot of retailers who are trying to support Allen, Texas. We need to support them.
Tommy, you've said it exactly right. The reality is that our local retail needs us to pay attention to them. I know it's so easy to shop online today. It is incredibly easy. And we tend to forget the impact that shopping online can have in a community, especially one like Allen, where the retail was purposely brought here to ensure that quality of life of the Allen resident. And that was all done before online became the monster it is. And I'm not criticizing that. I think it has its purpose. But I would really like for people to remember, you can shop and order online if you're ordering from a local supplier here, order and pick it up in the store, and you can do that very safely. Some of our retail do not have very strong online presence, some of the smaller non-chain. So don't forget, put your mask on. Get out and go shop in the local shopping centers and, shop Allen first. And then if you can't find it, then absolutely, I understand that. But we just remember the sales tax dollars that come through retail shopping and dining actually has a major impact on local services. I mean, when you think about the cost of having the park systems that we all absolutely love. We love the event center, fire and police. All of those things are either paid for by the property tax of the residents or the local businesses that are collecting taxes and paying property taxes and sales taxes that help fund the budget of city employees. So it's a win-win, really. When people shop local, you're supporting your local neighbors. Thinking about our college students that work part-time or full-time or owners, they live here in Allen, and they do need our support more now than ever. And I hope that, quite frankly, we change the trend where people do understand how important it is to support our neighbors. I mean, I think about the people that we know in Allen. Tommy, I've lived here for 21 years,
Yeah.
and how many people who own businesses in Allen, that live in Allen, that have supported us. I mean, I think about all the nonprofits that people donate to, all the charities, thinking about just, again, our kids that needed jobs so they could have employment during high school or college summer break. It's a very big impact when you really talk about the thousands of people that are employed just in retail and shopping. Not even, reaching out to the larger. So you think about Top Golf and Pinstack, who's working in there? Those are our kids. Those are our young adults that are employed there. So if we're not supporting them, those jobs won't be there, the taxes won't be there. And then guess what? We don't have that great amenity to go enjoy on the weekend or in the evening once COVID is back. So every one of our attractions is open at least at 50% occupancy. So I encourage you to, put on your mask and go out and be safe. If you can. If you're in a high risk factor, obviously, oh my gosh, no, stay home. Wouldn't want to ever encourage anybody to put themselves at risk. So that's really the passion to why the campaign is so important.
This is Karen Cromwell, the director for the Allen Convention and Visitors Bureau, and longtime friend. And we talked about this campaign in Shop Allen. We have a lot of, as I know, and we have a lot of very intelligent people that work within the city of Allen, and especially with the event center, and as you mentioned in your department, and think about the leaders in this area. Like
Right.
Tim Dentler has been around forever, and of course Peter Vargas, who recently retired. There's a lot of great people that were involved in making Allen what it is today. So, who was all involved in this Shop Allen? And obviously, it seems pretty simple, right? You would think about it. You live in Allen, you shop in Allen, but sometimes you have to remind people, and they're like, oh yeah, hey, why would I drive, to downtown Dallas to shop and go to the Galleria when I can take care of business right here in town?
Yeah. Well, I will have to give credit first and foremost is when we went into the whole COVID shutdown. Um, we were on the phone, the Allen Fairview Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development, the city of Allen. We all were the same thing. How do we support? What do we do for our local businesses? So it was interesting because we'd actually already started all having our own communication and sharing messages about what restaurants were doing takeout to go. When the CARES Act money came out through Collin County and given to the city, our leadership, Eric Elwinger, and Eric Strong and Tim Dentler, asked me, Karen, what is the economic impact and recovery that we could do to support the local businesses from the destination support, and then tying in the city of Allen and the other organizations. So we all came together, and we very quickly, Tommy, we created a brand in less than a month. And we launched in June the facing piece where the resident can sign up. I mean, you and I both know you got to build a commerce platform, and you've got to get these businesses to sign up and put offers out. So we did it in a very short time frame, but we also did it very collaboratively, and that speaks to really the small town feel of Allen, the collaboration across 4 organizations.
One person I left out, and I shouldn't have, and I want to mention the great Tracy Klein, because she has been so, such a great, friend, and as well as helping to point new businesses in our direction. And, I can tell you, it's surprisingly enough, Karen, with it being a pandemic and a lot of people cutting back on their advertising, the majority and a great majority of our sponsors have not left us. They stay with us. And that's important because, we can have the greatest hockey team in the world on ice, but if we don't have people that are paying the bills, the nice folks at the event center, the Bill Hermans and the Mike Martins, and
Right.
they're going to tell us, hey, look, guys, we enjoy your hockey, but if you don't pay us money, you're going to be playing street hockey. And so we depend on those relationships that we've had, some of them for a long time, like McDonald's, who's been
Hmm.
a partner since,
Yeah, Michael, oh, the O'Reilly Group, great group of
yeah,
people.
yeah, Chuck and in his group. And so it's very important that we take care of the people who take care of us. And I've always believed that. And
Hmm.
uh, good example, when I'm going out to eat, and there's many great restaurants here in the area, but I always choose one of the places that are a sponsor of the team. And, that's kind of
Right.
what I say, hey, look, you guys are investing in us. I'm going to make sure if I'm spending my money, it's going to be, in our great sponsors. And not to mention the fact you build relationships with those people over the years, and they become not just business partners, but very good friends. So you always want to make sure that you take care of number one at first, and obviously taking care of business here at home right now in this crazy times that we're dealing with is definitely number one. I wanted to ask you a couple quick questions here. First of all, with as far as the visitors that come to Allen on a regular basis, because let's be honest, it's a great place to come and to vacation because you got great golf courses here, unbelievable hotels, restaurants. If you want to go shop, Cabela's, we have one here in Allen. So,
Right.
how much has that been affected this year by the pandemic?
Well, thankfully, we are starting to see the recovery side of it. But, in the first, March and April, our hotels dropped down to an 11 to 12% occupancy. And we had been running anywhere from 60 to 72% occupancy. So that is a major drop. So our corporate business traveler obviously was the first to just poof, disappear.
Yeah,
And then what we did find success in was that we do have such a great park system and the Allen Event Center. We still were able to pull off the National Collegiate Wrestling Championship, U.S. Figure Skating 9 state championships. The convention center had the Dallas Card Show with over 800 people coming through periodically throughout the week. Social distance, I'm telling you, we were really hard on them about that. So it hurt quite a bit because to recover, we had our hotel operators that some of them that are locally independently owned, their entire family was there. Wives were doing, laundry and just trying to keep the doors open because again, a hotel is not inexpensive to run, nor is a restaurant or a retail space. So
right.
yeah, we saw a significant change in that travel for the traveler coming from out of town to us. And that was another reason the whole Shop Local campaign was Shop Allen TX campaign was so important is in order for us to drive the traffic that we lost because of the out of town corporate or convention business.
Yeah,
We now needed to, quite frankly, we needed more people from not just Allen to Shop Allen. We needed Lucas, Wiley, Plano, Frisco. We needed them to come back. And if we could make them aware we're open, then maybe they would drive over. So that has been successful. One of the things that Tommy, you and I had mentioned prior to the call, we were talking about the traffic at the shopping centers, and you mentioned Black Friday.
hmm,
Um, again, online shopping has changed the way people have going into this. Online shopping had changed habits, so we were already seeing a little bit of a decline because of more people shopping online versus going to the premium outlets, etc. However, our shopping centers are not malls. They're outdoor air, right?
right.
So when Allen built the Waters Creek Shopping Center, Village at Allen, and even in the premium outlets, that is a walkable space that is open. And that is probably one of the most incredible advantages that we had over a lot of these shopping malls is that is our 5 million square feet of space is open air.
Yeah,
And we found travelers or people were driving over here versus some of the malls, which was a great lift for our retailers and
yeah.
restaurants. I'm happy to report and I don't want to discourage people. I want people to get out and shop in Allen. But in November, despite the slowdown, we were down less than 1% in the amount of traffic coming through from the sales tax revenue standpoint. So people are, I think, spending more at one time. They're going to, when they go out, they're being very purposeful. So if they go spend a half a day shopping, they're going to go get it done. I don't think people are being as leisurely about shopping, which I know people who I call shoppinistas, and that is not who I am. I'm a very driven person. I have my list. I go in, I go out, and I'm done.
Yeah,
But those being open air and having patio dining has really, really saved a lot of our businesses, quite frankly.
that's
And local cheerleaders. I mean, I will tell you, our locally owned and operated restaurants, they have survived because they have loyal customers, but they also deliver great long-term customer service and relationships. It's not just a transaction. You can go into your favorite place and they know what you want before you even sit down. That's pretty special.
well, and just talking to a few of our partners recently, Zach Nettleton, who is one of the owners of Jimmy John's, in Allen,
Mhm.
right over there by the Walmart, and
Right.
they've been a longtime partner and a great supporter of the team. And I was talking to him yesterday, and he said yes, it was tough for a while. Obviously, they make their money. Their drive-through is very important because if people don't want to come in and sit down, you can always go through the drive-through.
Right.
And they've taken advantage of some of the services that deliver food to people. If you can't get out of the house and you want to a Jimmy John's number 10, you can still have it because guess what? You can call up and order it and have Uber Eats or one of those companies deliver it to your door. So that's another way you can keep your money in Allen without ever leaving your house.
Yeah, and actually, I would say right now, I can't think of any restaurant. There might be one or two very small people that have not moved, but the majority of restaurants had Uber Eats or Grubhub set up. If they didn't already had it set up, they had to get through the backlog because the demand was so high to respond and onboard. I was in talking to a restaurant recently, and they have 5 different channels of orders coming in. So the dynamic of taking orders for takeout and to go has really changed. It's been interesting to watch all the operators have to adjust and change the way they operate. And some of it was struggled because and I don't mean struggle in a bad way, but it was a lot to do in a crisis.
Yeah.
Again, when I say it was easy to launch the campaign, it was made easier only because of the partnerships and the relationships we'd had established. If we had not had those, I don't know how people get things done in a crisis when you don't have established relationships. And that's again one of the beautiful things about Allen being, and I get it, we're not a small town anymore, but we're still closely knit enough that we have that small town feel, even though we have all these great big city amenities right at our fingertips as residents.
Well, this is Karen Cromwell, the Allen Convention and Visitors Bureau Director. And I promised I would keep you 10 minutes. I've now kept you 21, but we got on a roll there. Uh, I just want, if you could leave one message to the people who are tuning into this podcast right now, as we move forward towards Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. And boy, I can honestly tell you, I've never looked so much forward to New Year's to get to 2021. What would that message be?
I would encourage everyone to go to shopallentx.com, download and sign up and get your Play Pass. You can save it on your phone. Take an opportunity to not only save money by using the Play Pass discounts on shopping, dining, teeth cleaning, roofing, all kinds of services, eat, sip, shop, play, and local services, and support your local neighbor because they truly are our neighbors. So I would encourage you to do that. Shop Allen first. And then if you can't find it here, by all means, you can go shop somewhere else, but try to shop Allen first.
Absolutely. And you mentioned teeth cleaning, and I got to send out a shout out to another one of our day one sponsors, Dr. Ross Miller,
Mhm.
right off Exchange Parkway here in Allen. Karen, thank you for doing this. It's great to see your face. I missed it, but I know, eventually 2021 will be here, and hopefully we can get together and have lunch soon.
Well, hopefully I get to see you at the home opener kickoff on December the 10th, right?
There we go. I
All
love
right.
it.
I will at least give you a shout out.
Absolutely. Thanks for doing this,
All
Karen.
right. Thank you. Bye.